I call this Good afternoon. I call this meeting of the Board of Parks and Recreation to order. I'm Michelle Cummings Steele, Chair of the Board of Parks and Recreation. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move to the appeal of decisions pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws. Please take note that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under a common law writ of certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. Consideration of the minutes. Board, have you had an opportunity to read the minutes of our March meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you so much. Metro Council referrals. Director Odom, are there any referrals from council members present?
We have none today, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We're moving now to old business, 03-23-09, Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated, PNG Co. Incorporated, requests a 1.103 acre permanent utility easement for installation of one or more new underground pipelines across property owned by Metro at 0 Highway 70 South, parcel number 142-000-21700. The permanent utility easement is $110,700. Total amount due to Metro is $110,700, and there is an amendment. The Acquisition Committee did meet this morning. Commissioner Haynes, is there a report from the committee?
Yes, we do recommend approval. The corrected amount, dollar value of the easement is $1,800.
Thank you so much. Director Odom, do you have comments from the staff?
No, ma'am.
Is there any discussion from the board? I will accept a motion from the board with the stated amendment.
Move approval.
All in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes. We'll move now to the consent agenda. Director Odom, we can take this as a whole. Director Odom, are there any comments?
Yes, I would just like to clarify and remind the Parks Board that approval of items on the consent agenda are contingent upon satisfaction of all requirements of the events process. So your approval here today is a part of the process, but then there's the satisfaction of all other requirements such as insurance, security, etc.
Thank you. Are there any questions from our board members? I'll accept a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety.
So moved.
Thank you so much. All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes. We're moving now to new business, 04-23-03, election of park board officers as per section 1000.4 of the Metro Parks Policy Manual. Chairperson, Mr. George Anderson. Vice Chairperson, Mr. Cruz Johnston. Secretary, Director Monique Odom. Is there any discussion from the board? I will accept a motion.
Move approval.
Thank you so much. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes. Congratulations to our new officers. 04-23-04, the Nashville Food Project, TNFP, requests approval to raise funds for infrastructure and programming at the community farm at Mill Ridge Park. Director Odom, do you have comments from staff?
Staff recommends approval.
Is there any discussion from the board? Okay, seeing none, I will accept a motion.
So moved.
In a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes. 04-23-05, staff requests approval of a community partner agreement between Metro Parks and the Tennessee Titans, Tennessee Football Incorporated, for establishing a campaign to support programming and capital improvement efforts at Luby Community Center. Director Odom, you have comments from staff?
Staff recommends approval, but I did just want to say that representatives from the Tennessee Titans came to the department probably a year and a half ago or so and started to look at wanting to support our our park system and be a community partner. And they actually had 2 community centers that they inquired about, Luby and then Kirkpatrick. And then we've rested on Luby, and there is an agreement that we're asking for your approval on to allow for undetermined capital improvements. So it is vague in that vein because we have not yet vetted what types of capital improvements we'd like to see or the community would like to see at Luby. But I will ask you to remember, I think last month, you did approve a Digital Divide grant from the Tennessee Titans to Luby Center, and that's for technology improvements at the center. So they have really already started supporting that center. It's much needed and much appreciated. So I request your approval on this agreement as well. And all that to say, this community partner agreement will proceed to Metro Council for consideration as well.
Are there any questions from the board?
All right, just to ask, so when they do have particular, when it's been determined what the capital improvements are going to be, then that comes back to the board, or will it just go to the department?
No, it'll go to the department.
Okay.
Yeah, but it will be in coordination with the department, so, yeah.
Right, okay.
So we are approving for us to start in partnership in a campaign. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. We're moving to 04-23-06. Staff requests approval of a donated conservation greenway easement and participation for the design, construction, and maintenance of the associated greenway within the Ben Allen Multifamily Trail-Oriented Development located at 301 Ben Allen Road and Ben Allen Road. Unnumbered. Parcel ID number 0610001700, and we'll defer this to acquisition. 04-23-07 Nashville Electric Service requests temporary easements and a permanent underground easement for Metro Parks for new infrastructure installation on Gay Street and along First Avenue at Fort Nashboro. The request relates to construction for a new substation in Duck Banks for an NES Central substation, which is pivotal to the electric service for downtown. We'll defer that to acquisition. 04-23-08, staff requests approval of a conservation greenway easement from the developers of the Modera Nations multifamily development adjacent to the Cumberland River Greenway downtown, located at 1650 54th Avenue North, parcel ID number 0800000800. The easement agreement will include design and construction of the improvements, subject to Metro Parks design, approval, and permanent maintenance by the owners of the property. There is no cost to Metro for this easement, the greenway improvements, or maintenance. We'll defer this to acquisition as well. We're moving now to special presentations. We have Centennial Park Conservancy to present an annual update to the board. John Tuminello is here, and you have 7 minutes. Good afternoon.
I have my stopwatch. Thank you, Dr. Steele, and to Monique and the entire park board. We are most thankful for our partnership with Metro Parks, for our ability to serve the park and to serve the public within the park, and our overarching goal of sustaining Centennial Park and the Parthenon as thriving public spaces. So I'm just going to go a little bit through some things we did last year, and then a little bit talking about some focus for this year. Overall, our mission is preserving and enhancing the park and Parthenon. It is sharing the park and Parthenon with residents and visitors. It's a lot of focus on activating the park through programming, whether it be our programming or Metro Parks program, to serve as an advocate for the park, the Parthenon, Metro Parks, and park users, and also to focus on our own organization, our sustainability, our excellence, how we achieve our mission. In serving and engaging park users, we had about 500,000 program attendees last year, and that counts both the people going to the Parthenon and through programs that we presented. about 15 million marketing impressions. We have a significant number of website visitors and a significant number of people that we engage on social media. Talking about how we preserve the Parthenon and Park, obviously in partnership, close partnership with Metro Parks, we a few years ago started a Parthenon Preservation Fund to help have restricted money for needs at the Parthenon. We started a Centennial Park Beautification Fund, which we used to call the Maintenance Fund. We're currently referring to it as the Beautification Fund. Last year, we started a Future Fund, and we also have the master plan, the Centennial Park Revitalization. So in 2022, we raised $154,000 for the Parthenon Preservation, $143 for the Beautification Fund, $135 in its first year for the Future Fund, and another $1.8 million for the revitalization, which would be about $13 million to date. So one of the things we've been looking at is helping to fit and meet those metro funding gaps, is having these restricted funds. So when there's something that needs to be paid for that might not be within the metro budget, it could be looked towards some of these funds to help support it. Also, an important part is the upcoming Park Plaza renovations within the revitalization. We've been working closely with Tim Naich and with the landscape architects on the new event pavilion. A big exciting addition to that is the repurposing of the Croquet Clubhouse into a cafe, and that is something that's going to help fund directly ongoing money into the Beautification Fund, into the Preservation Fund, while having concessions in the park for park users. Talking about activating the park, a lot of that happens at the Parthenon. It obviously also happens at Centennial Arts Center and the Centennial Performing Arts Studios. We underwrite 100% of the arts and educational programs in the Parthenon and then present programs like Musicians Corner, Kidsville, and Nashville Earth Day with a focus on art, music, education, and environment in the park. And we served about 500,000 people, as I mentioned, last year. We provided $140,000 in support for the Parthenon to help present 650 exhibitions and educational programming, and we're thankful to Lauren Buffett and her staff for implementing those programs. And we introduced, in partnership with the Parthenon, audio tours a few years back, and about 50,000 people took those audio tours that have recently been translated into both Spanish and Arabic. So now they're in 3 languages. Again, Parthenon presents exhibitions, performances, and educations and tours that is funded in part by our organization. Musicians Corner is in its 13th year. There's a lot of focus on being a program accessible to everyone. Last year, we presented 42% artists of color, 53% of the artists were women, 32% of our vendors were vendors of color, and 68% of our vendors were female vendors. There it goes. This year, last year we presented 171 artists at Musicians Corner and paid them a total of $145,000 for their performances. We did 30 events. This year we are moving it to 18 events, scaling it back a little. Production costs have significantly increased, as you can imagine, the last few years. So sustaining a free music program is a challenge, and 18 seems like the right number to us. Kidsville presented over 100 events last year, engaged about 36,000 people, which includes 13,000 people coming to events and about 23,000 educational guides that are handed out to engage children coming into the Parthenon. We also presented and will continue to present Kidsville programming in the park, including Earth Day and Celebrate Nashville, the weekly Kidsville at the Parthenon events. Kidsville goes to support 5 community centers with after-school programming, and we also support other outreach locations across the city as requested. Earth Day is coming up on April 2nd, the city's official Earth Day celebration. We made a decision to put all the proceeds of Earth Day into funding environmental projects across the city. So to date, we've planted over 1,000 trees, cared for 160,000 bees, helped introduce bees to additional parks, planted pollinator gardens, and cleaned up waterways. And again, we're doing this across the whole city, being that is a citywide celebration and program. We don't want to limit it to only Centennial Park benefiting. In terms of equity inclusivity, the majority of our programs are delivered free to be accessible to everyone without cost as a barrier to entry. We talked a little bit about Musicians Corner. We helped to fund, in partnership with Creative Parks Nashville, helped to fund the state historical marker for the park's former swimming pool. Last year, we started underwriting internships at the Parthenon, and this is the first year that 100% of our interns will be paid. So we're making sure that we're focused on workforce development, and also, as we mentioned, we do a lot of community engagement. In terms of financials, we brought in about $3 million last year, spent about $3 million. You can kind of see the breakdown. It's a wide variety of places of where that money comes in. It's a nice, diverse revenue stream. One of the things you'll see that's new under the expense line, allocations to the beautification fund, the preservation fund, the future fund, and to paid internships. We took all of our excess net income last year and we put it all into restricted funds to serve the park and also to help pay for interns. We mentioned about the capital fundraising, about $1.8 million, and this year we'll make our capital payment for the upcoming phase, which is about $4.5 million for all of the Park Plaza revitalization that's going on. And that's it. Again, on behalf of our staff and board, and again, if you have questions, we just would like to thank you for being wonderful partners. And, you know, Monique and I think we'd both agree that having a productive partnership goes a long way to serving the city. And I'm thankful, especially to Monique, for that partnership and her entire team.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board, John?
I have a question about
Yes.
the number of users. I think with the pressures that Parks feels with increased population and Nashville growing so quickly, I was curious about your 500,000 users and how that compares to the past and how that might compare to other parks in Nashville.
The users has been fairly steady. It obviously dipped during COVID. The Parthenon visitorship went down and some of our programs didn't happen. That number has been fairly steady for the last several years. We haven't looked at other parks in comparing it. I know that from a programming perspective, Centennial Park is probably one of the most active programmed parks. There's obviously parks like Public Square Parks that have big events or other parks downtown. But it's not a number that we have ever kind of looked and compared to program attendees and how that compares to other parks in the system.
Got it. And I think there was another figure that maybe so is 500 the whole park, but then 300 is just the Parthenon?
Sorry, Centennial Park, several years ago, Centennial Park was estimated to have several million visitors. I think it might have come out of Plan to Play, and then there were some numbers that were estimated based on the increased number of residents, the increased number of visitors. That first 3 million number is not a number that I think in the last several years has been evaluated on seeing if that needs to be updated. The 500,000 is the program attendees, and out of the 500,000, about 300,000 to 400,000 annually is the Parthenon.
I see. Okay. I couldn't really read it.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Yes.
So there's the visitors to the park, and then there are people that engage in programming in the park.
Got it. Great. It's a great park. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're moving now to Live Nation to present an annual update to the board. Alessi Nair, you have 7 minutes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm Alessi Nair. I'm the GM at Medicine Amphitheater, and I just wanted to go through our annual presentation for a yearly recap, including DB. Quick agenda, we'll do an events recap, go through some demographics, overall economic impact, DB spend, sustainability, and then what our schedule looks like this year. First off, I just want to say a big thank you to the Parks Board and the entire Parks Department for a true partnership. We really appreciate it. It's been tremendous, and we really appreciate it. I'll introduce our team real quickly. This is Sally Williams. She's our president of Nashville Music and Business Strategy. We've got Brian Benson, who's our senior talent buyer. And then we've got Scott Neuenschwander, who's our operations manager. Quick recap of our season. We had 6 civic and/or symphony events, which included CMA Fest, Party for a Cause, the Symphony, and ASAE, as well as 4th of July. 32 promoted shows, Jack White, Leon Bridges, Sting, John Party, Florence and the Machine, so a little bit of everything for a total of 38 total events. Local attendance was about 52% have Nashville proper zip codes. 180,000 attendance over the course of the season. 78% of fans said they would recommend the venue. And we have about 190 employees. This year we anticipate being a little bit higher than that. We'll go through the overall economic impact. Total was about $2.5 million with $926,000 of that being taxes for both local and state. Another $420,000 for food and beverage tax. And then for metro revenue, the base rent and the seat fee was about $853,000 with $180,000 going to, an additional $180,000 going to charity, which was split between the Nashville Parks Foundation and the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. And then finally, we've got about $205,000, which is liquor sales tax. I just want to call out our partnership with the Nashville Parks Foundation. Luis Bryan has been absolutely tremendous. I'm sure everyone here is very familiar, but they've got 178 parks, 27 community centers, and our contribution in 22 was a little over 105 grand, which was up from 68 in 21. So I just want to call that out and say thank you for a tremendous partnership. We really value that. We'll go through the DBE spend real quickly. This year it was about 30%, which is disadvantaged business enterprise spend in 22 for a total of $737,000. Overall, since the building opened in 2015, our spend is at 29% with a total of $3.7 million. So we're doing pretty well there. I want to talk about sustainability. At Live Nation, we take sustainability very seriously, and in particular at Ascend, because we are in a park. So these are a lot of the impacts that we do. A lot of them are corporate initiatives, but we kind of take it to the next level given that we're in a park. We had 1,000 pounds of waste reduced due to several programs, one of which was our reusable turn cup program. We were the first Live Nation venue, really I think the first venue in the country to do this program, which I'll chat through a bit more in detail. We had 24,000 pounds composted, which was a little bit down versus last year, but that's because we didn't use compostable cups. We used reusable cups. 65,000 pounds of recycling versus 38,000, 14,000 pounds of donations, which was almost double last year. 21, and then 105,000 pounds of waste was diverted, up from 86. We had about a 42% trash diversion rate. Again, that was down a tiny bit because of the reusable cup program, in which we don't have to divert cups. We just have overall less. We are the #1 venue in the country for most compost and most donations, which we're really proud of. And that includes all the big amps as well, so the really tall ones, or the really large capacity ones. Jack Johnson, I want to call in particular. We had no single-use plastic bottles anywhere on property, no plastic straws. We had a bike valet. We had about a dozen community and sustainability programs, and what they call the Village Green. And then we had a staff donation drive. And then this is my favorite part. We actually, as our artist gift to Jack Johnson, we donated a tree on the Betty Brown Tree Trail, which he was absolutely giddy about. So that was great. I'll talk about our Turn Cup program real quick. So this program is essentially, you get a cocktail or a beer and it's served in a cup. You finish your cocktail, you throw it away, you put it in a bin, and then it goes off site and it gets washed, and then it gets reused. So nothing goes to landfill, nothing goes to recycling. It's completely sustainable. So we prevented 62,000 cups from being used, which is about 1,200 pounds of plastic eliminated. We had an 88% cup return rate, which is pretty good. Avoided 17 tons of CO2 emissions, and we had 72% less carbon emitted than just using compostable cups. Like I said, we were the first venue in the country, and it's something that we really advocated for, in that we're in a park. We'll go through some other community impacts. Compost Nashville, 24,000 pounds of compost, Turn to Soil, Justice Initiatives, about 15,000 pounds of glass recycled, Turnip Green, 540 pounds of material donated. Musically Fed, we donated almost 2,700 pounds of food and almost 500 pounds of blankets to the Humane Society. We donated TerraCycle, which uses like cigarette butts and turns them into completely recyclable so they can go get used elsewhere. Goodwill, almost 1,000 pounds of products donated. Waste Management, almost 48,000 pounds of recycling. And then Ram Tool, we turned over about 3,400 pounds of construction supplies. We got nominated for the Polestar Award in 23. We won it in 22. We did not win it this year, but it's something that we're proud of. And obviously, that's a testament to, I think, our partnership. And as you can see, we've won a lot of awards over the years. This is our event schedule. We expect it to be pretty comparable to last year. We'll have about 30 shows, and then we'll have, several civic events and several symphony events. We're still finishing this a bit, but it's pretty close. And then finally, venue improvements. We've got merch structures, updated linear bars, and updated concessions infrastructure. So I just want to say thank you again, and I really appreciate the partnership and really looking forward to a great year.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're moving now to capital projects update with Tim Nate.
Hello, I'll just hit the highlights as usual. A new project on the list this month is the Fort Negley Museum Feasibility Study. As you'll recall, we completed the Fort Negley Master Plan a few months ago, and it made some very broad recommendations in terms of expansion of the existing visitor center. This is the next step in that process, so we're doing kind of it's a combination of marketing study, pro forma business plan that will help to inform the size and scale of that expanded interpretive center. Everything from an addition to the existing building, potentially to a major museum institution. So that's underway, and it will be completed this summer. We've also just requisitioned the second phase of Negley stonework repair. This is funding that was allocated in the recent capital spending plan. So the masons should be back up there on top of the hill within a month or so. We don't have a final date on mobilization, but they'll do the next round of stonework repair through the course of the following year once they get started. At Mariposa Park, master planning is proceeding, and we will have a third and final public meeting on April 13th at Cole Elementary School. Dr. Steele, the engraving of the Hadley Lillard Park entry monument sign is scheduled for the week of April 24th. The Wharf Park Master Plan, we have been advised by the mayor's office to hold off on final release of that plan until the planning department completes or makes substantial progress on their 88 Hermitage feasibility study, so that the master plan and the study both have consistent recommendations between the two documents. And another new project that you all approved several months ago, Woodmont Park. Friends of Woodmont Park currently has the basketball courts under construction in that park. Those are the highlights. Happy to answer any questions.
I have a couple of questions. Do you all have any questions? On Ravenwood and Mill Ridge, do you have a completion? And it looks like spring, but do you have a completion date for those?
Yeah, the current schedule on both of those is for mid-May. I'm crossing my fingers on that. There's always the risk of additional bad weather, like what is predicted for the next several days, which could impact that, among other things. But that's what the contractor's current schedule puts substantial completion at.
Thank you. And then the Wharf Master Plan is complete.
It is complete with the exception of the revisions that we will make in order to reconcile it with what will come out of the Planning Department's 88 Hermitage feasibility study.
Those revisions and that plan is in line with community requests? Wharf Park?
Well, the Planning Department is undertaking the feasibility study for 88. I don't have all of the details on what that process will look like, the extent of public engagement on that. I'm looking at you. I don't know if you have more more information.
Just wondering, I'm always interested in making sure that community has voice in those
Yes.
plans. And so Wharf Park has come to my attention. I just want to make sure that the envisioning process for that park is what, understandably, some revisions will come out of that, but is what will be ultimately planned for that park. I want to make sure that community input is definitely a part of the final outcome.
So for the master plan itself, we went through 3 rounds of pretty robust public engagement on that. If you'd like, I can follow up with the planning department and give all of you a report back on what the public engagement on that piece of it will be.
Just quickly, can you talk about the focus of the community for that Wharf Park community plan, like what they were interested in? I know there have been revisions from Cindy, regarding Greenways and that kind of thing, but what was the community focus for?
For the Wharf Park
For planning
master
that park.
plan? Well, typically for a master plan, we do a sort of a round of public engagement at
Right.
specific milestones in the process. So the first round, and this schedule, by the way, was extended an unusual amount given COVID. But we had multiple public meetings at the beginning of the process after we had done an initial assessment of the site, looking at opportunities and constraints on the site, got public input at that phase about what they wanted to see in the park, mostly a programming discussion.
Okay.
From there, do you want me to keep going? Okay. The second round of public meetings, then we presented three different broad concepts for the master plan of the park. Again, got public input on those. And then the last public meeting was, a near final master plan, and got a final round of input on that for what, at that point in the process, hopefully what you've done is, pretty responsive to what you've heard, and you're almost there. So it's kind of a final round for public input and comments.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to Greenways open space update from Cindy Harrison.
Hello. We're super busy in Greenways. The Charlotte Corridor Rail with Greenway project continues. We're still meeting with property owners along that line and the railroad, Cheatham County Rail Authority, as we try to finalize the route for that and any open space and easements that we need there. The 440 Greenway from Sevier Park to Browns Creek Park is also well underway. We're coordinating now with utilities, with other metro departments, and with TDOT, since we'll be in their right-of-way, continuing to work with them to make sure that we're all aligned on that. The 440 Greenway segment from Park Plaza down to Centennial Park. Right now we're focusing on lighting design, also coordinating with NDOT for space to physically put the trail. We have kicked off the Fort Negley Greenway to Browns Creek Greenway feasibility study. This greenway won't follow a waterway. It's kind of finding its own way between the two pieces there. So we're looking at how that might be routed and what the feasibility of that is. We have another feasibility study in conjunction with Wharf Park, looking at how we could extend the greenway down at river level from Wharf Park to Riverfront Park. And that is well underway as well. The Richland Creek Greenway that's proposed as part of the Bellmead Plaza project, just an update on that project, the preliminary SP was approved by the Planning Commission. That will move on to Metro Council. The Cumberland River Greenway, we have several projects out on Pennington Bend. One of those went through Planning Commission SP approval as well. That gives us a connection over to Lock 2 Park if it is approved by Metro Council. We've got a participation agreement going to Metro Council that you all have already approved, but this is the stockyard development on First Avenue that is being built around an existing greenway. This project will enhance and improve. It'll widen out that greenway, add landscaping, and some other improvements. So that participation agreement will spell out those terms. And then finally, the Harpeth River Greenway that's proposed as part of the Ariza Bellevue project, that was deferred for 1 month at the last, I guess, Planning Commission two meetings ago. So that will be coming back around, but that does include a greenway component to it as well. Happy to answer questions.
Any questions?
The Bellmead Plaza deal, does that go under White Bridge Road? I mean, does it follow the creek, or is it sort of, you
So there are
gotta
two-
kind of go around?
There's space in between, so it will either go around and connect to the existing greenway at the Publix, kind of adjacent to Publix there. It could go under the old White Bridge. That's the second alternative. So that'll be determined as project, if the Bellmead Plaza project is approved by council and as it goes forward, we'll be part of that design review.
Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're moving now to special events and upcoming activities with Jackie Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, April is a big month for taxpayers, but it's also a big month as far as events in Metro Parks. So, I'm going to start with April 15th. On April 15th, we have Community Clay Day at the Centennial Arts Center from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Then we have the East Nashville Beer Festival from noon to 5 p.m. in East Park. The Cherry Blossom Festival is scheduled from 9:30 to 5 at Public Square Park. We have the Outdoor Expo and Recreation Festival from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Bells Bend Park. And then we have the Kite Festival at Mill Ridge Park. That's going to be every Saturday through May 6th. And that event is scheduled from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's just some of the highlights of what's going on April 15th. Then, of course, on April 22nd, we have Earth Day in Centennial Park. April 29th is Tai Chi Day from 10 a.m. to noon at Fannie Mae Dees Park. And then we have the Water Lantern Festival from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Centennial Park. In addition to that, we have 12 Easter egg hunts at 10 different parks. We have 5 Easter services at 5 different parks. And we have 9 weddings at 5 parks. And that concludes, one last thing. We do have the Music City Open Disc Tournament from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. on April 7th at Mill Ridge Park as well.
Are there any questions? All righty, seeing none, thank you so much.
Okay.
We're moving to the report of the director, Director Odom.
Thank you so much. Well, as you all heard from Jackie and everybody else who have reported, the parks are busy. So all of our staff and teammates are working to make sure our locations are safe and ready to be enjoyed by all residents of Nashville and visitors. I'd like to welcome Captain Greg Davis, who has, as of last week, started to lead our Parks Police Division. You all remember Captain Jason Proctor was here before. He is transferred over to another division of MMPD. We will miss him. I told him he'll always be a part of the Parks family. We're grateful for his leadership, but we welcome now Captain Davis, and he has hit the ground running. We've had some enlightened discussions, in particular about pickleball and tennis. So he's been brought into that discussion. So we just want to welcome you and thank you for being with us. Absolutely. As you all may recall, the Tennessee Historical Commission denied our request for waiver to relocate the private Confederate monument in Centennial Park. As such, you all had approved installing some contextual signage there, and I want to thank the Metro Historical Commission for offering some technical assistance with us as far as the language that will appear on that signage. They are still working on that. I had hoped to have that before you just to review at this meeting, but they need some additional time on that. And so we are pleased to oblige, and we'll hopefully have that before you very soon. We have submitted our FY24 budget, and we've talked about that on for the past two meetings. We will share with you all what items from our submission are included in the mayor's recommended budget in the next few weeks. Wentworth Caldwell Park closed on March 15th. Our maintenance division is working to get the park cleaned, and we are coordinating with the Metro Homelessness Impact Division and MMPD for housing of folks out at that park. The staff is very busy. We are I'm gonna call it peak season, but we're entering peak season. Typically, or used to be, we would have some downtime in the Parks Department. We don't anymore, but we're entering peak season for outdoor activity. I guess I can say that, and summer activities. So staff are preparing for that in all divisions, nature centers, community centers for when school is out in the summer enrichment program and all of our partnerships. And again, you heard Jackie mention all of the events that are happening in our park system. So we are just gearing up and getting ready for that. And that is my report. I'm ready to entertain questions if you have any.
Any questions? We are entering the budget season as well, and if you all attend our meetings, we ask that you would advocate for the Parks Department not to lose any funding. How about it? You got a question?
Related to the budget, is there any kind of maintenance of effort requirement from the city that they do maintain funding?
No. So similar to, I was going to say similar to schools, but I don't know. But so we do not start at zero every year. So we request improvements and then also submit any reduction scenarios that have been requested. So no, we're asking for the improvements.
So you heard that brief discussion. Thank you all so much for your time. I'll accept a motion for adjournment. So moved. We are adjourned. Thank you for your time.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.